super bizarre. I just went through TSA and there's no one behind me. There's just a bunch of TSA people standing out and there's like 2 people there. There's absolutely no line. It's kind of weird.
Strangers in a dark room laughing at jokes they didn't quite hear. Frosted window panes and cheap champagne, a face appears.
We are all packed up and ready to go. Our flight doesn't leave till 5:55 tonight, but we got everything packed up, so we're gonna spend the time with Hannah's parents. Unfortunately, Lydia and Sarah just went to school this morning, so we missed them.
Sorry, guys.
We're just getting ready. We're gonna go downtown Seattle, right? See a couple things. We're gonna go look at the lake house, Hannah's grandpa's lake house, and her dad's been working on it and doing some renovations. So we're gonna see those renovations, see downtown Seattle, and then get on our flight. So this is saying goodbye to the house and saying goodbye to a very, very important person. Coda.
And anything could happen in these cathedrals we roll, where shadow people dance and trade their glance and walk home alone.
There was ice on the inside of the window.
Oh my goodness.
Open, and there'd always be smoke coming out of it. And we would go talk to her on the stairs here, and she was always a little bit out.
She had like no teeth. So we got pregnant with you while we lived here.
So we've been driving around at really cool parks around here in Seattle to be able to get a good view of the city. It's been a really beautiful ride to see some really beautiful homes.
Yeah, a lot of these areas my parents are really familiar with because they lived here before I was born. So a lot of the buildings and areas they point out to us and talk about how they went on runs here and this used to look like this and we lived close to this. So that's been really fun.
So now we're gonna go get Dick's Burgers. That's for you, PJ. We're gonna get some burgers, and then our flight isn't for another 3-4 hours. So
yeah,
we're gonna try to get as much of the city in as possible and take in this beautiful day it's turned into.
Yes.
Thanks.
Bye, thank you.
Today I am in San Diego. This morning I woke up about 6 o'clock and Hannah actually drove me to the airport and I flew in to San Diego. We're meeting a couple partners here for my job. I'll be here until tomorrow night. We had some Italian food earlier today. Very, very good. I am still full from that. Just got done with the meetings for today, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go around, see the city, see what San Diego has to offer. So far, it is beautiful here. The weather is perfect. The temperature is, 70 degrees, nice and windy. I'm gonna go by the beach, go by SeaWorld, just kind of see everything that I can. Now I am in Mission Beach. It's just barely north of San Diego. Behind me is the beach here. We're gonna do some drone shots and see how that looks. I was moments away from taking off on the drone, and right before I took it off, this lifeguard comes out of nowhere and said, hey, technically you can't do that around here. And so I started talking to him about how there's certain areas they do let you, certain areas they don't, and obviously airports and such, you can't. I mentioned this to him and he said, well, to be honest with you, he says, look, I really don't have a rule against it, but could you not? So being nice to him, I'm gonna go to a different place. My frustration is, look, these companies are working with the FAA and they say it's okay, but yet you've got people like this saying it's not. So I just wish there was some consistency so someone like me would know where to go and where not to go. Again, the guy was really nice, but it's just frustrating that everyone tells you something different. Round 2. See if I can make it before someone tells me not to. Let's do this. Beautiful morning here in San Diego on Thursday, and I thought it'd be a good idea to go for a run. I mean, this path is awesome for running. It goes, I don't know how far, I'm gonna see how far. It's just beautiful here. San Diego, why do you have to be in California and be so expensive? For those who haven't been to San Diego before, one thing I really like is the airport isn't in a dumpy part of town. Typically in every city you go to, the airport of that city is usually in the dumpy, sketchy part, but the airport is right on the water and it's right next to our hotel. So there's a ton of planes taking off right next to the beach, and it's a really cool thing to see. Behind me is that airport. So here's a little marina with some boats, and then behind me that you can kind of hear barely, but that is, I mean, airport right there. There's airport tower, I can see planes, and I think one's just about to take off. You arrive into the airport and you're already in the city and you can already get to what you need, and plus when you fly in you get a really cool view of the water and the ocean and San Diego. So we just finished the conference and now walking right outside of the conference hall. Hey Christian. Right outside the conference hall.
We got stuff done.
This is our view. The water is right here.
It's beautiful.
Brett's running across the street and we're gonna get a photo to commemorate the end of our conference.
I want to go on a sailboat with you guys.
Sailboats are fun.
I think that's the final thing we need to do together. I think we all need to be on a sailboat together.
That is a really
shirtless
good idea.
on a sailboat.
Whoa, you went too far. I was with you at the beginning.
Okay, pantsless. No, shirtless with melons, fresh melons. Say again? Fresh melons.
Just holding them or
no,
like beside us?
We will be eating fresh cantaloupe, honeydew, and watermelon on a sailboat by ourselves.
We have decided to walk around San Diego, eat some gelato, and see the city. Because Brett doesn't want to play laser tag.
I want to do nothing organized. Nothing, I say.
We're gonna get some gelato and see the city. Just walked by, they're constructing one of the high rises here. It's amazing that this small thing here becomes one of the big buildings up there. Construction is amazing.
Was it good?
Fantastic.
Christian?
That means it is cold outside.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
What'd you get? You got like a...
I got Prosecco, Prosecco,
whatever that was, yeah.
and then the mixed berry.
Gotcha.
I kind of like a little bit of sweet, a little bit of fruit. It's kind of how I am.
Done with the gelato. It was super good. Just finished that. They actually had real Italians working there. It was pretty impressive. But we're heading back to the car, now leaving downtown San Diego. Christian and Brett are actually going to drop me off at the airport. I'm heading back tonight. And then they're going to go to a Padres game tonight and do some more meetings up in LA. This is basically the end of the trip, leaving the beautiful city of San Diego. The water's actually right here. This is where our car was parked. heading back to Utah. Been great, San Diego, and I will see you next time. Bad news, my flight is delayed. Apparently there was some super bad weather in Salt Lake City, and actually a lot of flights had to be diverted to Provo, so I'm kind of getting the aftermath of that. I'm afraid this is gonna be a long night. So after an hour-and-a-half delay, a very bumpy ride. The turbulence was really, really bad. We got to the actual airport at Salt Lake and the jet bridge didn't work, so we had to sit there for about an extra 20 minutes as they fixed the jet bridge. My dad, coincidentally, also was getting off of a flight from Seattle that was also delayed, so it works out perfect. I'm actually gonna meet him down here, and then he's actually gonna drive me home because my parents have to pick up their dog that Hannah was watching. So my dad's gonna give me a ride back home, get some sleep, and then I gotta head to work tomorrow. So it's been a pretty crazy day.